Johnny, I suppose first and foremost, how things are going in the camp, and I suppose your own fitness, you're happy with how that is at the moment?
Yeah, trained fully today with the group. Thankfully, I got through that okay. So all available for selection. And yeah, the group we trained well today. The lads had a good hit out at the weekend. And yeah, we're looking forward to the weekend now. I think it is. I suppose it only feels, like I said before, it only feels like yesterday since we were finishing up the Autumn Nations Cup and disappointing end of the Six Nations, the last campaign for us. So in many ways it's been good. We've hit the ground running. We've got doesn't feel like we've gone backwards. It feels like we're just we've taken off from where we left the last campaign, which is great.
Yeah, just on that, because of the transitional nature of Andy Farrell's second campaign in charge, there has to be a bedding in period. Where do you feel you are in relation to England and France?
Well, time will tell, won't it? It doesn't matter how much we talk about it or how good we say things are in camp. We have to put out performances that reflect that, and we have to get results that reflect that also. So, we can believe one thing, but until we go out and prove it on the pitch and play to our potential and get the results that we feel that we need to get within this group, well then we won't know our progress. We won't know how close we are to England and France. But we don't play France for 2 weeks. We play Wales this week, and that's all our focus is on that and making sure we get the campaign off to a good start.
Johnny, Ireland haven't won a Six Nations game in Cardiff since 2013. Why can it be different this weekend?
Yeah, it's a tough place to go, Sinead. Like all Welsh teams, they're very tough to play against at all times. But especially in Cardiff, there's not many teams that go there and get a win. We haven't done it in a long time. The last time we won it, the first game we ended up having an injury crisis and we came second last. So it wasn't a great campaign, even though we got it off to the best possible start. Hopefully we can start this weekend in the same fashion and then keep things going. So look, like I said, we haven't honestly spoken a day past Sunday or thought a day past Sunday. Everything has been geared up. Since we met up last Wednesday, everything's been geared towards this game, and we know how important it is to build a bit of momentum in this tournament, and the way we can start that is by putting out a good performance first and foremost, and hoping that the result will take care of itself if we can play really, really well, because we're going to have to if we want to beat a Welsh team away from home.
An empty Principality Stadium, though, is that going to be a bit of a leveller, do you think?
You can look at it that way, yeah, definitely. You can also look at it sometimes when you play there, the crowd are so passionate about the game, and when things aren't going. I remember that game in 2013, we got on top early and we were playing really, really well, and the crowd got on top of the Welsh team at that stage. So sometimes if you start well with a full crowd and things are quiet, that can work in your favour. Now it's going to be quiet, but look, it is what it is. We're well used to playing in empty stadiums at this stage. I don't think it's something that we've even spoken about at the moment. But Cardiff is traditionally one of the best places to go, and yeah, we wish we did have 80,000 crazy Welshmen in there shouting on, because it creates a great atmosphere. It was a very special atmosphere and it's a very special game. So we'll miss them, but if it is a leveller, it's not something we spoke about.
Johnny, Michael Corcoran here. Do you think that the attack has to be more effective? Do you have to score more tries to try and push on and win the Six Nations?
Yeah, we probably need to be a bit more clinical. I think we scored the most tries in last year's Six Nations. Did we? I think we did. But yeah, we need to be more clinical. We created a lot in a lot of those games. If we talk about the last campaign, and we didn't quite finish them, and the top teams do take their chances, and we need to get better, especially when you consider the French game. The one that cost us ultimately was we had a lot of entries into their 22 and didn't come away with anything. So yeah, we've spoken about being a bit more ruthless, and hopefully that'll lead to a few more tries. But like I said, I think we had a good try scoring record last year.
Can I just ask you one final question just about Paul O'Connell? You've played alongside him for a long period of time. He's alongside you now as a coach. So how weird, for want of a better phrase, is that as a feeling that a fellow who was a teammate a couple of years ago is now in coaching, and I would imagine the players have a lot of respect for him.
Oh, a massive amount of respect, yeah. As a teammate, up there with the best teammates you could ask for, selfless, and everything that he did was with the team in mind, and he's no different now. He's worked under some of the best coaches, over the years, and he's strongly influenced by a couple of them. Very strongly influenced by Joe Schmidt in and around, his work at the Ruck and how he thinks about the game, and he's had a great impact on us so far. That's all I can say. But like I said, there's no point in us talking. We got to go out and show the influence that he's had on us and bring the things he's asked of us to fruition, and hopefully, like I said, that'll give us a good performance and a good result.
Good man, thanks. Have a good week.
Cheers.
Johnny, how's it going? Just one for me. Just about that run out you guys had against Ulster at the weekend. Was that full on, like 15 on 15? Like, I know there would have been a few Ulster guys in there with points to prove as well. Was that a good tune up for you guys?
Yeah, it was a great hit out. I wasn't involved in it. I was still with the just last stages of physio for me. But the guys had a good hit out. We had two teams rotating in and out, so it was probably hard to get a bit of flow. But in terms of being able to try and play some of the plays that we've prepared against live opposition that don't know what's going on, often when we're training team against team, we know the plays we're throwing at each other, so it's very hard for them to work. And often you can kind of get a bit anxious about, does that play actually work? Whereas it's good to see against opposition that don't know what's going on. So we had a good hit out against them. They were brilliant. It was full on, but very respectful at the same time, if you know what I mean. There was no, cheap shots. There was no, off the ball stuff. It was real. We call it level. We have different levels of contact. Some guys have different interpretations of them, but it was a great hit out, and it was a good thing for us to go back and look at and learn some lessons. So hopefully we don't have to learn the same ones next week.
How is Johnny? You were joint top scorers along with France last year in the tournament. 17 tries. That's not too bad.
That's all right.
Do you remember in 2018 you told us after that yourself and some senior players went to Joe Schmidt with a target of winning the Grand Slam? Has anything like that happened since? I know you go out to try to win every game, but have you spoken as a group about a target? What's a realistic target for this campaign?
Like all teams do, and we'll be no different to any other team. I'm sure every team sat down whenever they met up last Wednesday for us, got together and set some targets, goals, some values, whatever you want to call them. And yeah, we did it. But again, we're not going to go shouting them from the rooftop. We parked those goals, and now we're very I'm sorry I'm repeating myself, but we are so focused on this Sunday and making sure that we put out a performance that sort of reflects the hard work that we're doing. That's all our focus is on at the moment. So yeah, we've set some goals, and hopefully we can make them happen.
How do you avoid slipping into complacency when you hear some of the talk, maybe Wales' poor season last year, Ireland maybe on a bit of a better trajectory, and we've got upset in Wales so many times over the years, but how do you avoid that slightly slipping into the mindset that you may go there as slight favourites, and Wales always seem to up their game when they face Ireland, especially over there?
Yeah, I think every international is tough, you know what I mean? And Wales, I don't know if they've made it clear that, I think Ireland are up on their list of most disliked teams. I don't know if it's that current or is that past, but like that's been out there. But look, again, it's not we don't really think about these type of things. Like we're honestly just so focused on training at the moment. We're focused on training tomorrow, and we'll take it day by day. And we've had some tough encounters with Wales over. Like last time we were in Cardiff, we got hockeyed. It was a particularly dark day. They ended up winning the Grand Slam that day, so that was only a couple of years ago. You know what I mean? So that's the same team with the majority of the same players. So we know deep down in here that any team can have a bad campaign, you know, at any stage, or a bad game, and ultimately you can turn things around pretty quick. So we're expecting, you know, a top quality Welsh team. You know, when you look at the players they have through their ranks, you look at Alan Wynne up front, you look at their halfbacks with bigger, the amount of caps he's got, Gareth Davies, the amount of caps, John Davies, Lee Halfpenny, you know, they're littered with caps through, so they've so much experience, and they've had highs and lows like every international player has, and I'm sure they'll be in good stead, you know, come Sunday as well. So, you know, it's all systems going now, really.
Best of luck.
Thanks.
Okay, we'll finish with this section with Ruth, trying to get in there. Ruth?
Yeah. Hi, Johnny. Thanks, David. Johnny, I just wondered what you would consider to be a successful Six Nations for Ireland. You know, is the emphasis going to be on performance, results, or both?
Both, yeah, both. Because you can't get one without the other. You know, first of all, it's looking after our performance, but you know, we don't. Every team, honestly, every team is sat in their different training centres, setting targets to win the Six Nations. Like, you're not coming in here going, God, I hope we finish third or second. Like, we're here to try and win. Like, that's the name of the game with professional sport. Like, so I think that goes without saying. But how do we do that? We do that by performing well and by trying to get better from our last outing. You know, we did some really good things in our last game against Scotland. We felt that we built through the Autumn Nations Cup after a disappointing end to the Six Nations, and we want to go up a level. We want to go up a couple of levels because, you know, like a previous question that was asked, we want to be able to challenge the best teams in Europe for the foreseeable future. That's all we're going to be playing against. So we want to be up there with the best, and that's France and England at the moment. But you know, you look at the Six Nations table, and anyone can go out and win it, I think.